happening, G's? My guys, what's happening, my fam? Good to see you, welcome back. Hope you guys are doing well. We are gonna be looking at the markets. We're gonna bring in the LTA Trading Floor. We're gonna have some fun today. Look, good to be back on stream. Hope you're doing well, hope your trading is going well. This is your last month of the year where you can make it happen, my friend. Last month here where you can turn yourself into Big G. Looking forward to questions with you guys. The last month before the holiday season, before the volume drops down here, let's make it happen. Quick W in the chat, please, for my fam. Make sure you smash that like button and you hit the subscribe as well. We're going to be releasing a bunch of stuff very soon. Looking forward to that here. We'll keep you updated about what's currently going on and how we're going to move forward. Looking forward to today's session here. Let's absolutely crush it, my friends. Good to see you again. Horrible DJ. Okay. Very nice. Let's see what we have with us today. MDM, IG, good to see you. Brad, good to see you. Lalo, Calvin, GF. Bitsy, Hello World, Ben, Arky7, ADC Core, AD Cortron. Hey, what's happening, my friend? Good to see you again. Christine, good to see you too. Daniel, Cowboy, the big man. Good to see you guys. Good to see you guys. Noogie Nook, Salam Malam. What's happening, fam? What's happening? Good to see you. All right. So a couple things on our radar today. You guys are obviously going to look at things like gold. I'm not really liking the gold chart so far, to be honest here. But before we move forward, let me actually fix this right here. Something is wrong. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. There we go. 5 seconds. Is this good? 500. There we go. All right. Good enough for me. Good enough for me. All right. So what I'm going to do today, I'm going to look at gold. I'm going to show you something. Why I don't really like gold today, to be honest. I'm not here willing to trade gold every single day. If I see better setups on other instruments, such as the EURUSD right now, for example, we're going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about the reasoning for that as well. Let's actually go over it right now so you understand the nuances of what we're seeing here on gold. Gold has been kind of trading down here today. Ever since Monday, the monthly open we have dropping. We might look for a bullish reversal here. But as you guys can see, we are also in that major daily supply right now at the moment. We are kind of hovering in between that. So yes, the overall trend here is bullish. You can see that the overall trend in general on the daily is still bullish. But we have been pushing down today. We need to see that we need to see that reversal, or we need to push back into a very clean area of demand, which is a little bit lower for me to be really interested in looking to long gold here. Because if this is a perfect long setup right there below, I will be much more interested in seeing if we can actually take this if we can take it a step further and actually hold on to the trade, because gold might make new highs. At least that is something I'm looking at for gold here. You can see right now gold is kind of holding up, and it is at support. So the chances that we break up is potentially the case here. We're going to see what happens from the current weekly open. You can see how the Sunday open right now on gold as well, geez, got rejected right there, right? So you can see how price opened, it broke down, it tapped into it, and it got rejected. Now we're finding support. So what is the ideal scenario for gold here? The ideal scenario for gold is that we break back above the Sunday open, turn it into support, or preferably break above yesterday's point of control, the area where the most volume has been traded. So if you guys are not familiar with that, then I highly recommend you to download the LTA Concepts Trading War Map. You guys are fully aware of this. I think most of you guys are. Most of you guys have already downloaded it. Have you downloaded this book? Let me know in the chat, please. Have you already downloaded the LTA Concepts Trading War Map? Because it allows me to guide you through the book on stream and show you how you can use this system in your favor, and you can turn this system into a profitable trading strategy. That is why I'm here. I'm here to showcase my book, and I help you with your potential scenarios. And then, of course, understanding the system behind it, right? That's the idea. So on gold, I think for gold, I want to see the breakout. I don't see it happening at this current moment yet. But maybe we'll see what's going to happen today. I'm not going to force anything on gold if I don't see a proper clean setup here. However, if I look at the dollar right now, the dollar is in the daily supply zone. How do I know that? Well, look at what happened yesterday. You could see that the open was here. It created that drop, that base and that drop. And yes, it looks like we're bouncing from demand, but at the same time, this daily candle right here is now acting as resistance. You can kind of see this right here. And look what happened is we draw a zone right there. You can see how this daily candle today, oh shit, there we go. You can see how this daily candle today tapped into that and actually flipped bearish, okay? This is the dollar in a nutshell right here. Are you telling me that you guys just missed out on gold here? All right, here you go. So what I want to see on gold is I want to see the break above the previous daily POC, which is this range, or follow through. You can see how the Sunday open got rejected, but at the same time, gold is finding higher time frame support right now at this moment. If we do flip bullish here, right, that is a good sign for gold. That means that if we have to break out, we'll most likely flip bullish on the daily candle, and then we can look for that follow through, right? We kind of trade with the higher time frame, but that's not happening yet. So what we're trying to see here now at the moment is what the dollar is doing, and you can see the dollar is in that supply, all right, the daily resistance. And therefore I was looking at the currencies, right, and I was looking at some layers, some assets, something that might be interesting to look at. And clearly you can see how the euro right now is holding up at that 4-hour and that 8-hour demand right here, okay? So the euro is in that support at this current moment, and you can actually see that on the lower time frame we've kind of created that CME play right here, okay? That CME play right here. So I'm actually interested in going long on the euro for that particular reason, right? Because of the fact that we're creating that CME from that bounce from that 8-hour demand turn. If you don't know what a CME is, we talk about this all the time. You can find this in this book as well. You just simply go to page number 56 right here, okay? Page number 47, sorry, 47. Consolidation, the manipulation, and then the expansion, right? So that's kind of the setup that we're now seeing on the euro. Let's see what happens here if the euro can hold this. The consolidation, the manipulation, and then the expansion. If you can turn and flip this bullish, we can hold that demand. That's the ideal case scenario. The dollar, of course, breaking down is what we want to see here. For now, the dollar is still holding that support here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for a long on the euro right now. But what happens if I get stopped out? Or what happens if the euro loses strength and the dollar starts pushing deeper into that resistance? Well, I have another setup in mind as a plan B, okay? A plan B setup. And that setup is called the New Zealand dollar. right now at this current moment. The New Zealand dollar is very weak, or it's acting weaker today. I'm going to be looking at a rejection here. You can see how we already got rejected right now. It's completely different, as you can see, from the euro. And you can also see that the New Zealand dollar right now is pulling back into critical ranges right here, right? So we're going to pay attention to the New Zealand dollar as an alternative to the euro if my euro trade, let's say, fails here. So I might be hedging a little bit, G's. I might be hedging a little bit today. Okay, why do I say that? Well, if we go to the euro New Zealand dollar and we look at the higher time frame, where are we at? Where are we at? We are actually in that daily support right here. You see that trend? You see how we're holding that support, right? If the euro holds this support against the New Zealand dollar, I think it's a good alternative, right? If the dollar does something else than we want, I think we can find some good setups on the New Zealand dollar, US dollar instead. So, you know, we'll see how that goes right now. But at this current moment, I'm looking for longs on the EURUSD as my first step today. And what we're going to do is we're going to ask the trading floor as well to see what these guys are doing. We already had a call. We already know what we're looking at. That's kind of the thought process. So I'm actually interested in longing the EURUSD for that exact reason. Okay. Why not longing the euro New Zealand dollar then? Because I'm actually using the cross pairs more or less as my indication. My indication of strength, my indication of weakness, rather than actually trading it, because it's a different way. I like to trade major pairs right now at the moment. Okay, let's go to the trading floor, guys. Let's see what the guys are up to.
Jeez.
What's happening, G's?
Sure, man.
What's
Hey,
happening?
Yo, what's up, man?
Lorenzo.
Lorenzo.
How's it going? How's it going?
All good.
Great.
Waiting for dollar to make a move.
The dollar to make a move here. Yeah, Rio. Yeah, we talked about the EURUSD today, right?
Yes, we did.
Okay. Very nice. So let's see if the dollar can break down and then the euro can push up higher. That would be awesome. Nice.
Yeah,
pretty
waiting for that
nice.
CME on the dollar.
See me on the dollar, yeah.
Yeah, it's on the custom charts on the previous week fixed value quite low, so quite well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Confirmation where that becomes.
Looking good, looking good. So Rio, what have you been talking about today mainly over the last couple of weeks? What is like the
We've been
topic?
really focused. We've been really focused on hard time frame supply and demand and who is in control at the moment, and we have been paying attention to higher time frame supply and demands being created at the time, not just waiting for later confirmations. And yeah, we've been focused mainly on that and trying to understand the higher time frame more.
Yeah, exactly. So, you think I should tell the YouTube audience, tell them, explain them our process, our system?
Yes, why not?
Oh, yeah.
Give them just a quick show of how LTA VIP works and just a quick sneak peek of how we approach the markets. Why not?
Sounds good, man. Sounds good. All right, guys. Speak to you soon. Looking good so far.
Speak soon.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
See you soon.
speak soon. Take care.
These are my guys in the VIP. All right, these guys are streaming Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We're pretty much looking at the same setups today, and that is the euro at this current moment. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens right here. So Lorenzo, you're not in the EURUSD yet. At this moment, we're waiting for a little confirmation, and then we might be entering very soon here. So keep a close eye on it right now. Watched The Big Short last night, such a good movie. Yeah, I love the big short. We might see another big short coming very, very soon here. Tell me about your plan B. Yeah, we just talked about it. Plan B is a New Zealand dollar, US dollar short setup actually. So it goes against the euro long. That's the whole point of it, right? If we have a 2-to-1 risk-reward ratio, I don't really mind losing a trade to win another trade. If that's the case here. So what I'm waiting for, I'm looking at right now with the group is we're waiting to see what the dollar is doing here. And if the dollar is willing to push higher, or if the dollar is gonna actually break down here, because right now it is still holding that support since pretty much what? The London session, you could say the Asian session actually. It's just holding that support right now. So if this doesn't really follow through here, right? And we don't see the break below on the dollar, yeah, then most likely the EURUSD will be a filled setup and the New Zealand dollar, US dollar will be setup I will be looking for. So sometimes when we are in very rangy stages, what I like to do is I like to pretty much look at two different setups and play them against each other if the dollar is uncertain, if the dollar is kind of arranging and not doing much. So we'll see how it goes. Right now, you do see that the euro is holding up at this current moment. You can kind of see that we have the consolidation here. We have that breakdown. We break higher, and we're pulling back into the value area high. So for the people that are new here, this is a system that I constantly take in consideration here. I will show you in a second, but it's constantly the same setup that we're looking for. So the first step is kind of our higher time frame supply and demand zone, which is kind of right here in this case. Let me show you a previous trade. Let me see if I can find a previous setup here. So I can actually show you what I mean. Let me actually give you let me show you a scenario. Let me show you a scenario. So for example, right? When we're looking at the euro, if we are in a higher time frame zone here, let's take the euro for today. Let's just take the euro. We were in the daily demand zone, right? And then price around here started to range. It started to hold that demand zone. The thing is, I don't always like to enter from supply and demand. I like to go to the lower time frame and go from there, right? So the thing about the lower time frame is that we can look for more precise entries. So let's say we tap into that higher time frame demand zone, right? That's the first step. Now I have kind of my confirmation there. So from that moment onwards, I'm gonna observe and see how we develop, right? Are we formulate a pattern? Are we pushing back higher? Is there a scenario where I can look for a setup? So for example, right here, we have a beautiful range. We manipulate to the downside, right? And then we break out to the upside here. And then we pull back. And if we then use the fixed range volume profile, we go to the 50-minute time frame, if you can actually find out right here, then you guys can see that we bounce back, or we tap into what we call the point of control, right? The area where the most volume was traded in that range. It breaks out, pulls back, continues higher. So now we kind of have a three-step system, right? First step is higher time frame supply or demand. With the question is, who here is in control, right? If we understand who is in control on the higher time frame, then that is already done. Then the second step is volume profile analysis or volume analysis using different type of patterns, right? We talked about it in our book, the CERC, consolidation, expansion, retracement, continuation, or CME, right? Consolidation, manipulation, and expansion. So if I ask you the question right here, what is this setup right here that you find right now, okay? And by the way, this setup happened around what? The New York session. So what is this setup right here? And what is that example? Let me know in the chat, please, G's. Let's see if we're on the same page here. CME, yes. We had it correct. FB, yes. LTA Trading. No, CME. Fire Jones, Nam, CME, Renato. Yes, you guys are all killing it. The C right here, the M right here, and then the E right here. So now we have a daily demand zone. We break out and we formulate a CME. So our bias was bullish because we bounced from daily demand, but we don't want to enter from daily demand because our stop loss will be way too big. So how do we do and deal with this as day traders? We're looking to enter, roughly speaking, around levels like these, right? Where we can look for setups for, internally speaking, right? And that's kind of the thought process of how we can take trades internally throughout a singular session. And that's kind of the thought process right here. Step 1, higher time frame supply and demand. Step 2, volume analysis. Step 3, trade management, risk management. Step 4, journaling, feedback, data, continuation, right? And what's happening right now in the EURUSD? Right now you can see that we are in 4-hour, 8-hour demand. The dollar is in supply. We have now a reaction. Now waiting for a certain setup to occur here. This is a consolidation, right? Manipulation and expansion. Is this a potential entry right here? Right? That's kind of the question that we have to ask ourselves, right? Is it worth to put in our risk to see if we can trade it back to that higher time frame resistance if the dollar here is in supply right now? And if this one potentially fails, right? Because you only need a 50% win rate to break even with a 2-to-1 restored ratio. Why not look for something against this setup here? Maybe the New Zealand dollar or anything that's showing more weakness overall here. Okay? So that is the idea. That is the thought process right now. So let's open up my MetaTrader. Actually set it up right here. Let me show you my MetaTrader here. So this is exactly what we have been doing right now. This is every single setup that I've been taking. It has been taken. It's the exact same freaking setup. The exact same setup. Higher time for supply and demand. Lower time frame, pattern, consolidation, expansion, whatever. Everything to do with volume, right? We always say volume is king. Volume is king. That's kind of the thought process right now. Something that we have been looking out for. So yeah. Let's see what we can do here. Let's see if the euro is gonna hold, and let's see if it's gonna follow through. What's happening, G? Good to see you again.
Talking about Adrian from the range from behind, the left, the one on the left, not the one created today, right?
Yo, Rio, we're getting close, man.
Yes, sir. Just waiting for that break higher. Yeah, this candle already took out the previous candle low. And yeah, let's just wait for the volume.
I agree. I agree. How much do you risk in this trade when you're in? I mean, it depends, man. I think usually, I would say around $3,000.
Oh, yeah, that one, yeah. I thought we were talking about it.
Hey Lorenzo, if you have a look at the NQ chart, would you say that's a CME play too? And does NQ have a correlation to the dollar too, and how? You can always confirm the correlation, my friend. You can always confirm it yourself. I will show you a trick on how you can do that. So at this current moment, you can see that indeed the NQ is showing that we are in higher time frames resistance though. So do take that in consideration, right? This is why we have been struggling to break it already. Right, the NQ right now is struggling. But if you look here internally, is this a CME play? I mean, maybe on the lower time frame. Maybe on the lower time frame, on the 1 minute time frame, right? You could say that this might be a CME play, but because we're in higher time frame supply, right? I'm very cautious with looking for a CME to the upside. I rather wait for price to create a range to manipulate here, like you're already saying. Maybe that's what you mean. And then look for the breakdown and look for the retracement and look for the continuation right there. Okay? So I hope that answered your question. You can use the fixed volume profile here on the left side. You click on this link right there. You click on this link and you go over this tool right there. You mark it out and then waiting for price to break below, for example, this level, right? The 25,488. Wait for the price to break down and then I will look for the continuation to the downside. That's an example. So in terms of like how you can actually measure if the dollar correlates to the New Zealand dollar, to the Nasdaq, you can use a simple trick, my friend. Okay? If you want to know if something correlates, you can use a simple trick, and that is the following: go to the left side, or no, go to the top, type in correlation, coefficient. Click on this, type in the dollar index as your symbol. Boom. Go to the daily time frame and see if it actually has a strong positive or negative correlation. Well, at this current moment, I can say there is not really a strong correlation in both ways. Why do I say that? Because price has been hovering around that 0 point, right? So the more it's trading in these extremes, the more positive or negatively correlated it is. In this case, you can see here that we kind of have been hovering around. So I don't like to take the dollar in consideration too much when trading the NQ. Hope that makes sense. So always confirm it with this indicator, the correlation coefficient. An absolute game changer if you want to know if something correlates to something else or not. Right? So instead of people saying to you or telling to you, if this goes up, this goes down, just use an indicator to show you that it actually is happening, right? You can actually prove that it's actually the case. Hope that answers your question, my bro. Lorenzo, I'm in GBP USD using CRC. All right. Yeah, my alternative will be the New Zealand dollar. Look at the New Zealand dollar here. And if this rejects and the dollar does decide to hold up, then I'm actually interested in just shorting the New Zealand dollar instead of longing the EURUSD. So if the EURUSD doesn't break out, I'm gonna do the opposite today. And I'm gonna short the New Zealand dollar. So I'm gonna find my trade today, regardless. New Zealand dollar, US dollar short, because the weakness against the euro and New Zealand dollar is just so bad that that's a good alternative instead. And let's see. In the meantime, I'm gonna welcome a couple guys to our Telegram. Lemonas, welcome, my G. Good to have you here. Awesome to see you. Okay. Olak, good to see you too, man. Lorenzo, nice name, my G. Nice name. Anna, good to see you. A lot of cool guys here. A lot of awesome new people in our group. We are growing quite rapidly, actually, here. What do we do here? We give you daily update, daily market updates, things that I'm looking forward to. New Zealand dollar, we already talked about it right here. Things like that, all right? Constant market updates. I made a video today, a full breakdown, pretty much what we're looking at, also throughout the London session or outside of the streams. You know, you cannot only rely on the streams, you want to have a rapid feedback, right? The only way to give you rapid feedback on things is in our Telegram channel. So if you want to join our Telegram channel, you can click on the link. I think someone will post it in the chat or in the description. It's a very easy process. You need a Vantage account. If you already have a Vantage account, you can simply click on the link. Also in the description, it says already have a Vantage account and you can get into our group quickly. If you want to have updates on what we do on a day-to-day basis here. For now, the question is, what is it going to be today? Is it going to be the New Zealand dollar US dollar short, or is it going to be the Euro USD long? The Euro is holding. The Euro is holding. New Zealand dollar US dollar is holding. It's going to be interesting today. Lorenzo, how much profit did you make on that 50K account? So far, we are sitting currently at 59. But in total, we had some fees and stuff. 12,300 gross profit and 10,555 net profit. So yeah. Same system, man. Just keep repeating the process. It's 20% gain in a pretty short time span, right? We're talking about 3 weeks. Keep in mind, this is one of our accounts, of course. We just did a max payout on Top Step. We also have another account here, which I am looking into as well. Here we have a couple things on our list right now. Keeping it up with the process. Just following the exact same process. Not be dedicated and not limit ourselves to every trade, like trying to freaking win every trade. You know, having that mindset of, you know, because if you try so freaking hard to win every trade, guess what's gonna happen? Guess what's gonna happen if that's the case? You're gonna most likely, right? You're gonna most likely force your setups. You're gonna be so obsessed with winning and not losing. You're gonna close trades too early because you're scared to lose. Or you're gonna hold losers longer because you believe that at some point it will come back to your entry. And guess what happens? It never fucking happens. So, you know, you better accept losses in order to make money here. So even if you look at my history, right, of my trades, for example, in the last, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you know, yes, the majority is blue, but I had some red days in between that, right? And I'm actually completely fine with that. If I have to do that, then I have to do that, right? You can always try to win every trade. That's just not the reality. What you can do is make money over time. Did you place a pending order? Not yet. I think I will enter manually. I think my lot size will be around, I think 15 lots. I calculated already. 15 or, sorry, now I forgot. Shit. I'll use a calculator. How many is it? 14.6. So yeah, like 15 lots, pretty much.
Running that session, but I was like, oh my.
Yeah, what up, Jace? You guys are seeing the euro?
Yes, yes. We're in it. Limit order set.
Coming closer. It's still holding up really well, man. It's holding up really well.
It is, it is. Let's see the hourly closure right now, 4 minutes.
Ah, you got your buy stop already, Andre?
Yes, yes. And also looking at yen.
Got you, got you, got you. Opinion on GBP USD shorts look like a CRC. Yeah, the thing is, I was looking at the New Zealand dollar. Instead, if you do break the lows here, we need to break the lows first. Clearly, let's go to GU as well. We can look at GU as well, see where we are. Yeah, similar, right? Similar right now. But the main thing is the dollar. So if the dollar decides to not follow through here, let's actually look at the Euro GBP. Euro GBP is holding up really well. So if I go for longs, I would definitely go for the euro. If I would go for shorts, yeah, maybe. I think I'd rather focus on the New Zealand dollar, US dollar, to be honest. If price rolls over and breaks down. I think that's what I would do. If the dollar holds steady, then that's something that I'm willing to do here. But for now, the euro seems to be the easy play if he manages to break out. This feels like real trading. This is real trading. In a nutshell, my friend. This is real trading in a nutshell. Oh. Where am I? There we go. What? Okay, whatever. Ah, there we go. Nice. Okay, whatever. Do you trade via TradingView by connecting with a broker? No, MetaTrader. MetaTrader. Would you be looking at gold any further? I don't think so. I don't really see a clean setup on gold. Let me know. Unless you guys see something. I don't really see something that's clean. The thing is, people are so used to trade gold, right, that they're going to force trades. I don't know. It looks like gold's breaking out. It looks like we're gonna push higher, but at the same time, we have so much resistance still. So many things that could hold us down here. So I'd rather break structure on the higher time frame and see if we can move forward. Or if you come down lower, it will be also be better. I don't know. I'm not really a big fan of gold today. Not really. Not really a big fan of gold today. And it says gold hit me hard earlier today. Yes. I haven't been trading too much gold, like not as much as I usually do. And that's just because of the market, right? You need, like, the thing about gold is, right, I'm always trying to just take a couple things in consideration. So number one, the main thing I'm looking at for gold is obviously always is good setups, right? I'm not like trying to trade gold because I just want to trade gold, for example. Like many people just want to trade gold because of that reason. They don't care about the market condition. They don't care about that gold is in a range right now on a large scale, on the higher time frame. They just want to trade it. So they will be executing trades anyways. For me, I like good and clean setups. So if I cannot find it on gold, I prefer to go somewhere else until gold is back on track, giving me the setups that I need or whatever. And it doesn't mean I never trade gold anymore. It just means I'm a little bit more picky when it comes down to looking for the right setups. I think we're gonna set a buy stop here. Let me see what we can do. Lorenzo, why not entered yet? It's entry model 1, clean setup. The break is actually entry model 1 is actually above that wick, right? If you go to the book right here, then you can look at an entry model right here. If you guys are new, okay, let me explain what it means to trade this entry model 1. What do you need for that entry model? I'll actually show you. So let me show you what I mean. Like the entry model 1 is actually like this. See that? Candle 1, candle 2. It doesn't have to be always 2 candles. It can also be 3. But at some point, if candle 2 gets broken, right, with volume, that is your entry model 1. So that's kind of what we're waiting for right now. We're not far away from it though. Oh shit, no! You guys know what happened? That's so gay. You guys know what happened? I literally opened a buy stop. I wanted to move it down. The price shot up aggressively. It's almost like they smelled my entry here. The spread is super low on my account here. That's definitely not the problem. I was too slow. I was too freaking slow. I placed that buy stop, right? I placed that buy stop right above that. I was like, you know what? Perfect. I'm going to place the buy stop. We're going to push it down. And at that moment, the candle wicked up. Funny. Anyways, we're in buys. We'll take it for granted. We'll take it for granted. We'll take it for granted. The guys are in buys too. Andre is in a buy. My G.
Limit order for the UG.
Yeah.
Andre, you're in a buy. I see right now.
Yes. Yes, sir. Just got tagged in. I had my buy limit at the re-break of the highs.
Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Good luck.
Good luck to you, G.
Good luck. Good luck.
And to anyone who is in it.
There is nothing better than trading with your buddies on a day-to-day basis. Imagine this. You are living on an island. You're living on an island. You have enough money to work with. You don't have to really worry. You need to have a couple good trades a month. And you can trade with your buddies on a day-to-day basis every session. Hey guys, what are we looking at today? What a life. What a life. Yes, actually, let me show you, because you see my entry. My entry is a little bit higher. It was supposed to be right here. Anyways, we'll take it. We'll take it for granted. How much do we risk? $2,000 on this trade. There we go. What is my average win? My average win is $4,000, I guess. My average win is $4,000. Dollar yen, $7,000. That was a good trade, but yeah, no, around $4,000, I guess. We'll see. Was it spread? No, it was no spread. No, this was purely my mistake. Like, I just placed the buy stop and I moved it down, and I should have done this earlier. But for the rest, it's okay. The risk is set. The setup is good. Slightly lower lot size. Slightly lower lot size right here. How many accounts do you have on Vantage? I mean, I have multiple accounts. I just play around with some accounts. Some accounts have different purposes, right? Some accounts have different purposes. So yeah, we have a couple different accounts to work with. This one has what, 59? Then we have another one which is sitting at 9.5. Then we have another one. This is sitting at 10.6. So yeah, we have a couple of accounts to work with. I'm always looking for a 2-to-1. I try to reach a 2-to-1, not always. I compromise sometimes, but yeah, kind of trying to see if it's possible. If I cannot at least get towards a 2-to-1, then most likely I'll take it for granted. Usually, I don't really try to avoid it. Doesn't mean I reach a 2-to-1. I actually never have a 2-to-1. If you look at my data, I never really reach a 2-to-1 risk-reward ratio. My risk-reward ratio is usually lower, right? The 1.8, 1.75, right? Are you still looking at the New Zealand dollar against the US dollar? I mean, not right now. We are now in the trade, but if price fills or takes me out, then I might trade. Yes, I might continue to trade the New Zealand dollar or the pound dollar. We'll see. Pound dollar also didn't look that strong either, right? So yeah, it's an alternative. It's an alternative. If we manage to break down, then probably take another setup instead. I do this a lot. I do this often. If price is very uncertain around the dollar, there's no clarity, I'll take a loss to make a win. So I purposely lose a trade to make a win, because that loss gives me more information directly for another setup. For now, it's holding up. What's your news in the Asian session today? I don't know. I don't know. We did have CPI though. We did have CPI, and the inflation data actually came out higher than expected, right? If you look at the Euro CPI, it actually came out at 2.2, 0.1% higher than the expectation. IG YTP 445 daily supply zone. Oh, it looks very weak right now. Yeah, it does. It kind of does, but it's also not really, right? It doesn't really look like it's breaking down yet, right? It's kind of holding up really well. So let's see what happens. If price rolls over, but let's see if we break that low. We'll see. You can see that it's bouncing from that zone here. I think it's 8-hour demand too. Yeah, right there. So I don't know. I don't think it's that weak. I don't think it's that weak, right? To be honest with you. Lorenzo, I think there was a great setup at silver today. What were you looking at? Explain the setup, my friend. Let's go over it. Let's go over it. Hey Lorenzo, do you mind give us a small brief about your trading system? Well, absolutely. So the first thing, guys, and this is always the thing, right? What's your name? Where are you, my friend? Where are you? Elon Musk. Nice. Elon Musk. Trading system is called LTA Concepts, okay? And watch what happens, by the way, once the CT data is fully back. Because I think many of you guys don't even realize, we don't really talk about it too often. But I'm looking forward to talk about the fundamental side of things as well. I think it's super important to bring back the fundamentals later on. But for now, we are focused on a couple things to just simplify it for you, okay? We use volume. We use the fixed range volume profile. The reason why is because I always see how price responds from these levels. I've witnessed this for years. I've been using this tool for years. The first time I actually used this tool was in 2000 and... That's a long time ago. A long time ago. You can even see it on an interview I did 3 years ago where I talked about the volume profile. And I've been using it ever since. Ever since for my executions, I use this tool. It's called the fixed range volume profile. You can find it right there. It is actually it's not even a indicator, okay? Like people call this an indicator, but it's actually just a tool, a standard tool by TradingView that you can utilize, okay? Which measures the volume, the tick volume in this case though, of how many trades were executed and where the most volume was traded, okay? And this is why you can see now that we were bouncing off of this blue line, for example. And that is the reason for that is because if you measure the volume of that range, you can kind of see how price breaks higher. It pulls back and it finds support at this blue line. Why that blue line? Okay. Well, within that range, there is an amount of volume traded, right? And if there is more volume traded at a specific price level in that range than another level, then that might be the level of interest by default. So that's where we take our entries from. And we kind of build a system around it. Now, the thing about the volume profile is I don't like to use the volume profile to understand the direction of the day or the bias of the day, or I'm going to be bullish bias today because of the volume profile. I don't really like to look at it from this perspective because it lacks context, it lacks bias. So I needed to solve that, right? I needed to solve that problem of, okay, like I have a great entry strategy, but I'm not profitable because somehow, you know, every time I look at a trade, I see it perfectly tapping into that level. But then, you know, the majority of my trades go against me, for example. Well, the reason why we fixed that is where we need to utilize the higher time frame for, right? So it's kind of the goal is to use the higher time frame for my bias. If you have the higher time frame in alignment with your lower time frame, then I'm much more convinced I can find a profitable trading strategy, right? And that's kind of the thought process. So the system works as follows: supply and demand on the higher time frame, volume on the lower time frame, and then of course good risk and trade management, right? Good risk and trade management. Obviously, this is the simplified version, my friend. If you want to have more information, you should just download my book. You know, it consists of all the information, and you can use that information in your favor. I just backtesting. Just prove to yourself that it works. Like, show, don't believe me. Don't take my edge and say, oh, this guy, you know, he's only losing on stream or he's only winning on stream, so it must be true or it must be wrong. Test it for yourself and check it out and see what you can get out of it. Because I do believe that if you take your time to test it properly, you see the power of it, okay? And otherwise, I would not write a a 300-page book to you know, share some bullshit. Pretty much. So yeah, we've been trading with this all year round. I've been really looking to see how can I absolutely capitalize on this strategy. Be as consistent as I can. I had some weak months. For example, October was a very weak month for me. But I also had incredible months, right? I also had months where I absolutely killed it. For example, in August, I think the summer, funny enough, the summer was one of my best performing, my best performing months. Where usually actually the summer is one of my worst performing months. That's kind of the interesting part. But that comes just because we, I guess, really focused on, you know, on a lot of things. So I've been really working hard to make this happen and to absolutely crush this strategy. And it's not about winning all the time. It's about making money every single month. That's the key difference, right? That's the goal. Making money every single month, regardless if you have a good or bad month. And that's the goal. So winning is one thing, but making money is, in my opinion, where it's at. Right now, I'm working on growing a couple things. So right now, I'm working on growing a 59K account. Started at 50K. I have another account that was at 2.5K, is now at 10K. And we're just trying to grow it. We're just trying to grow it. And then I also have a futures account. Let me show you as well here, so you understand how diversified I actually am, because I don't really trade only CFDs. I also trade futures just out of pure interest. And we also have 5 funded. Oh, 5 funded. Crash it. 5 funded top step accounts as well. Okay. We already had our max payout. We are now trying to see if we can work our way to the next payout. I haven't taken many trades on top step at this current moment though. I really haven't. Not as many as on the CFD right now. So what I'm here for, the reason why I'm here to build an army of traders, an army of guys that are willing to learn. And the reason why when I go live is, of course, you know, showcasing live is one thing. But it's also just, you know, there are so many people that have like good questions and are, you know, reading the book, and they're messaging me on Telegram, they're messaging me on Instagram, they're saying, yo, Lorenzo, read your book, this page number, I have a question about X and Y. The reason why I go live is not just to trade live all the time. I don't really care about that, to be honest, because I trade offline too. But I'm not here to trade and give you signals all the time and just say, oh, I'm live, blah, 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 here, take my trades, you know? Like other guys, I'm here to talk about a concept, right? And to study a concept, go deeper into the concept while I'm actually just trading with my buddies. What is the difference between you and the other millions of trading guru scammers? That's a good question. I don't know. Well, I do know actually. Number one. I don't know. I think we have been trading live for 3 years, 3.5 years already. That's one reason. I have done 450 live streams on YouTube trading live. That's how I started. That's how I built my whole brand, right? All my followers on YouTube, Instagram, they all come from trading live. So that's the first thing. Secondary, I wrote a book explaining my whole concept with all the data. Right? Third thing, I show payouts. I had my payout last time, right? Showing my profits as well as my losses. So yeah, what else do you need to know? The book is free, by the way. So I would give it a go. Give me another reason? You want more reasons? Well, another reason could be we've been trading with our group already for a long time, right? The guys are still here. If you know that most of these like scammer guru guys, type of guys, they have a really short-term mindset, right? Do you agree? They think about the now. Like, how can I make money now? Like, how can I get as much money as I can in a short period of time? The shortest window of opportunity possible, and how can I absolutely exploit that and capitalize, right? That's kind of the mindset of what I call whatever, the guru, whatever, scammer kind of mindset, right? We have guys in our group that are in our group for years, man, and they're still here. Why do you think they're still here? Because because we're scamming them? Of course not. They're here because they want to learn. They're here because they feel that they're growing. They're here because they're evolving. They're getting better. They're communicating, they're making friends, right? So many different reasons why. Shout out to the trading floor. Yes, definitely, my friends. Absolutely. Void profile is free. Void profile is completely free. Yes, sir. Lorenzo, what do you think of dollar yen? I'm looking for shorts. Dollar yen is actually super freaking beautiful. I had one of my biggest trades last week on dollar yen. So we can talk about dollar yen for sure. I mean, I shorted dollar yen multiple times. Why? Because we had this beautiful setup right here, man. Where is it? 12 hour. Look at this supply zone on the 12 hour. That was very nice. Look at the rejection as well. Breakdown. Look at that rejection here. Tapping into that 12 hour supply. Breakdown. What happened internally, right? What happened there? Well, clearly when price broke down, CERC. consolidation, expansion, retracement, continuation. Or consolidation, expansion, retracement, continuation. Or consolidation, expansion, retracement, continuation. So you see that same pattern happening, and the reason why that's happening is because we're in higher time frame supply. And the supply is in control. Sellers are trying to take over control. So these patterns now suddenly have value, right? Loaded value. Because we can use the volume profile, we can say, you know what? We're gonna take a trade on the fixed point of control right there. Boom. You see what I mean? That's the setup. You go to the right side of your screen. To the left side, you go click on the fixed range volume profile. You draw it over the range. You see the breakdown. You see the pullback. You see the rejection. That is the perfect setup right there. Couldn't be better, right? After tapping into higher time frame resistance. So that is the trade that we actually took. That is this one right here. That is that setup right there. So yeah, it's looking very good. Let's see where we are right now, though. 8 hour. Yeah, we're getting back to that supply, man. We are getting back to supply. 8 hour supply. Now we have a range. Let's look at yesterday's range. Last swing. This is the point of control. So yeah, if this breaks down, then yeah, I will be looking to short dollar yen too, yeah. Dollar is still holding up, I think, pretty well. So yeah, we're still patiently waiting to see what happens with our trade right now. It's kind of ranging. I don't think it's a point of control. Tick volume sucked. Tick volume is amazing. I love tick volume. It's actually very nice. I like it. It works for me. Has been really accurate. People that say tick volume is awful haven't properly tested it, in my opinion. They think that only the real volume from the CME is the only volume that matters, and it's true. It's the real official trading volume. So I get it. But I think I've taken thousands of trades using the Owanda chart. So yeah, I don't know. Works for me. Since it's automating your ads and giving you another ads, not always being in front of the screen, and the bot executes on what you program. If you're 50 plus 1 edge, as long as you don't go to 0, you win. Yeah, I've thought about it. But there are so many things that I have to take consideration. It's really hard to do that. So if you are a real big G, in terms of like coding and stuff, message your boy. Message your guy. For sure. Lorenzo, come on, man. I want to learn. Answer me. There is a key area. Early, weekly, Sunday opening your entry. Will this affect it? It could be holding as resistance, but the thing is, it's all about bias. So if our bias is bullish for today, then the chance of that getting broken is higher, right? So we'll take that in account. We'll take that in account. Otherwise, the problem is, if you're going to only trade from level to level, you'll always will find an area of resistance or support. You know what I mean? So you will never be able to trade because, you know, you're always going to find a level somewhere. So you need to filter out. You need to be able to know what you're going to focus on and what you're going to leave behind. And the only way to do that is by focusing on your bias, right? Yo, what up, G's? While we're waiting here, is there anything else that you guys are looking at in the meantime?
Yeah, bro, I'm currently checking out oil.
Oil?
Yeah, just entered, sir, actually.
What do you see in oil?
Oh, we've been testing the Sunday Open, and we've previously come from this daily supply.
All right,
I'll
nice.
show you the screen here.
Cool, man.
So it matches sort of working out who's in charge, supply demand. And for me, yeah, currently got hard time frame supply in charge. A little bit apprehensive due to the 4-hour closure happening soon.
Yeah.
But, yeah, bro, I like this. I like the 30-minute play.
All right,
Running a
awesome.
little bit of a tight.
Yeah, we had some bearish news in oil as well lately. We saw that on the weekly analysis yesterday, right? So it's interesting.
Yes, man. Yeah, it really is, bro. You
All
discovered
right.
some now. It was interesting to see. So,
Cool,
yeah, man.
cool.
And also having this clarity on what you guys, what the guys at FAM are doing now on the VIP. Having scenarios mapped out
Awesome, man.
and keeping
Yeah.
discipline. And
So
patience there,
true.
man. It's just.
It's so true. It's so
Yeah.
true. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, big shout out to all the guys in the group, by the way. This is to the guys in the VIP right now. You guys have been absolutely crushing it. Very proud of you guys for putting in everything here. Particularly in the weekend, right? Doing all the hard work in the weekend, so you're fully committed and ready to rock and roll throughout the week. So yeah, I completely agree, Liam. Well said.
It's inspiring, isn't it? You know, to see.
Are you scared of the December price action? I mean, not really. Should I be scared? Should I be scared? Let's follow up with our process, man. Let's follow with our system. Let's follow a system. Same setups, all right? Same process. Man, the euro is freaking ranging though. Like it doesn't want to move, right? You can see it's holding up, right? It's bouncing, it's holding the very high. It's creating these like long wicks. Where's your stop loss? 16007. 16070. What's your average lot size? Yeah, I'm looking right now. On Forex, it's usually, it depends on which instrument, right? It's always different. 20 lots, 50 lots, something between that. 15, 20. Lorenzo, what if price is a daily supply, but at the same time it's a 12-hour demand? That's a really good question. I actually really like that question because this is what you're gonna happen. You're gonna see a lot. If price is, let's say, in so let's say, right, this is like the daily supply zone, and this is like a 12-hour demand zone. we always look at cycles of 4. So 4 hour is the gray area, but 4 hour, 8 hour, 12 hour, 24 hour, right? Daily. That's what we utilize, 4 hour cycles. So let's say this is like the 12 hour demand. Price gets into the daily right here. And it taps into it and it sells off, right? And it comes down to daily, to 12 hour demand. But then price is holding up here. Price is holding up in that demand zone right there, for example, right? So should you go short now because you bounce from daily supply? Or should you go long now because you bounce from 12 hour demand? You came from daily supply, but you bounced from 12 hour demand. Well, that's always a question to ask yourself. Like, if the trend is bullish, right? If the trend overall from there to there was a bullish trend and we're still continuing bullish, right? Then why not looking at a 12 hour demand zone still, as long as the trend is bullish, for example. Another thing could be, you know, trading with the larger trend is still favorable. So therefore you could use the 12 hour. Let's say the gap is very small between daily and 12 hour, then it gets annoying because now you don't have a lot of room to look for long setups, right? But if the gap is long enough and you have a lot of internal like space to take trades from on the lower time frame, the 50 minute, then you will have plenty of opportunity for you to take longs, for example. I hope that answers your question. So you have a lot of room. It all depends on how close they are towards each other. If it's very tight, big supply, big demand, there's not much I can do because higher time frame need to show first what it wants to do. Hello, sir. Can you suggest about go to one strategy to another mindset? Sorry, I don't understand your question, bro. Sorry. Oh man, this is slow or is this slow? What's the dollar doing right now? Ranging. Dollar is still ranging. So you can see that the dollar is just doing what the dollar is doing. And that is just flat. So the dollar needs to start moving, man. I expect the kind of the New York Stock Exchange to give us a boost and to kind of help us with at least a direction, because that's all we're looking for. We're not necessarily trying to win the trade. We're just trying to get engage the direction, because there are a lot of other setups that we can look at too. Oh shit, wow. Lorenzo, maybe you could make a Christmas offer on the LTA VIP, $100 for old subscribers who didn't decide to sign up in the past. So we go from like 1,000 to 100. That's scary, man. What's happening? Unknown. Cannot see your name. Maybe that's your real name. Unknown. My G. Welcome to the channel, my G. Good to have you. Last December was pretty volatile, if I remember. That was strange.
Look, saint versus sinners, the poor versus riches, top ramen plates
Yeah.
versus five-star dinners. Wonder why I feel
Last year was pretty wild. I remember that.
take some losses before I saw my first winnings. Silver line grinning, poverty line thinning. My life is like a movie and the plot just thickened. Came from broken homes trying to break the old traditions. Left my old ways.
David says, I know it sounds ridiculous, but maybe many will join. It's not about many, you know, that's the key difference, bro. We don't want many people in our group. That's the whole point of why it is $1,000, right? We don't want many people. We want quality people. That's the key difference between what we're looking for. Okay? That's the reason why we're streaming live there every day, right? We're doing the weekly analysis. We have content in there, all the things for the serious people, the guys that really want to learn and want to be like a real trading environment every day live and can learn while they're actually going to the book, while they're going to the course, etc. I don't even want to call it course, the video series, right? That's kind of the key difference. So it's not about many, it's about quality for us. Talking about, for example, many, right? A good alternative for you could be the Telegram group, because the Telegram group is a good alternative, right? If you say, no, the VIP is not worth it to me, or I can't afford it, or, you know, I'm not, you know, I don't want to spend that much time. I just want to get quick, rapid feedback on my setups. I just want to know what to trade. A more direct way without all the context. Then the Telegram group is where it's at, right? Because you still get updated every day. It's just a different way. So some people prefer Telegram. They prefer that snappy, quick feedback, setups. Other people, they really want to learn. They really want to take things to the next level. They really want to feel that someone got their back. That certainty of, you know, look at all these guys here. They have done it. Why can I not do it as well? You learn very quickly from a group of traders that are successful. EUG is slow, that's why I don't trade them. I prefer gold. Yeah, the thing is, bro, like, you know, to be honest with you, I like gold too, right? I have been trading a lot of gold. I like gold too. Like, I cannot deny that. Is gold doing the same thing as the euro now? I guess. Kind of ranging. Struggling too. I think it's just a day today. I don't really look if the euro is extremely volatile or not. I want to just win trades. I'm willing to take my time for it if the trade plays out. What is your win rate or overall win rate of your strategy? I mean, it's hard to say, but the goal is always to get it higher and to make it higher, right? To get a higher win rate every time. So we're trying to build it up, right? We're trying to get this to 70%. That's like the sweet spot. If I can get a 2-to-1 risk-reward ratio, 70%, you're golden. You make a lot of money. And probably the only way for me to achieve that is by trading less, to be honest. So if I would be trading less, I probably would be able to increase my risk-reward ratio. But the problem with that is I will be having less trades. So I kind of sometimes sacrifice my win rate to get into more trades, to make more money over time. But I could probably make the same money or similar money by trading less, to be really honest with you. But you know, we are kind of optimized for day-to-day trading, right? And not just swing trading or something like that. So yeah. Doesn't a lot of gold get sold around December? Let's have a look at it. Let's see if this is true. Daily, let's use a tool. We call that the future scope. Invite only. Future scope. Yes, you're right. December tend to be bearish. Tend to be quite a bearish month until the end. We call that the Christmas rally. You can see that right there. That's the end of December. So yeah, usually, yes. Well said, my friend. Would you ever consider starting your own prop firm? I mean, never say never, but most likely not. Most likely not. I know what kind of headache it can be. You know what I mean? You need a really, really good team in order to get that done. And not just a team. It will probably sacrifice 90% of my time if I would do that. And I think this will be very tough. Sylvester says, I made 11K last month trading as and with Lorenzo. I took 35 trades, 16 wins, 8 break even, 11 losses, 1-to-2 risk-reward ratio, win rate 61%. God bless. With a 2-to-1 risk-reward ratio, 61% is good. That is really good. You can calculate it. If you do the calculation, 61%. How many trades? 28 total trades. That's really good. 16 times 2 is your wins. So 16 wins times 2 in profits and 11 losses times 1. So that should be what? 32R minus 11R is a net R of 21? 21R? Not bad. Sorry. Yeah, 21, right? 21. Not bad. Ahmed says, I'm in a $CAD short entry model 1. My G. Let's see if that makes sense. That's a CME play, bro. That is a CME play. You see the setup? If you see the setup, let me know in the chat, please, guys. Let me know in the freaking chat. Let me know what you see here. Because it's so freaking clean. Oh my god. Ahmed. IG. CME, baby. CME. So nice. So good. Boom. 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 Fixed failure low. Absolute perfection. Look at that tap. Look at that reaction after the retest. Oh my god. Look at that right there, man. So it's actually a CME, my friend. It is actually a CME. W Trading Floor, W Liam, oil full TP. Yeah, nice. I saw it, Liam. Wait, let me call Liam for a second. Yo, bro. Liam. That was a sick
Hello,
play,
hello.
man.
How you doing?
I saw oil. I was looking at it quickly. I sniped it quickly.
Yeah.
Let me see. That was a quick snap.
But that was, yeah, bro. And these levels, man, it was just so clean.
So good. Yeah, can you send a screenshot?
Of course, man.
Awesome, man. Good
I'll
trade.
move my arrows. I'll clean this up. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, cheers, man. I'll chuck it in the win section now, and a breakdown so we can see the logic behind it, yeah?
Yeah, awesome. Do that, please. Do that, please. That would be awesome.
You're welcome, my man.
Nice. Yeah, big shout out to Liam, man. Beautiful, beautiful trade on oil. I saw oil dropping. There is a lot of negative news around oil too, by the way. A lot of negative news right now. Ahmed says, thanks you, bro. I'm really killing it. And all the thanks goes to UG. Awesome, man. Congratulations. Yeah, that's a good setup. If the dollar decides to follow through, though, it will be even better. Right? We're getting there. We're getting closer, though. Dollar doesn't look strong. Let's be honest. Dollar doesn't look strong. It doesn't look that strong. Look at the daily. Look at how we're trending, pushing. We're just holding this support, right? We need to break it. If we break it, the euro will be TP, man. Hello, sir. Why don't you use ICT concepts? Why would I? Why would I use that? ICT doesn't like the volume profile. I'm like, what? Okay, we watched this video lately, right? We watched the actual video on stream before. I'm like, how can you not? How can you not understand that it's just a tool that measures the volume traded? If there is more volume traded at a specific key level, it might be a higher area of interest, and therefore you can take trades from it with higher accuracy. Yeah, no, I don't use ICT. I do use supply and demand though. So if you count supply and demand as part of it, or SMC as part of it, maybe that comes closer, right? The supply and demand, the market structure, the you know. You know what actually is happening, guys? I'm not joking. A lot of like ICT traders that are, you know, now, okay, a lot of ICT traders are only trading the NQ. Have you noticed that? They're only trading NQ. I don't know why, but they're only trading the NQ. That's what I see. That's one layer. Another layer is, I see a lot of ICT traders actually messaging me and other traders that I know, you know, saying that they want to switch. Why is that? I don't know. Maybe because they can't make it successful, I guess, for themselves. It's very, you know, the thing about ICT is it's very, very fugazi. It's very like all over the place. But hey, people have to trade what they want to trade here. The only thing that I like from ICT concepts, because you can never just like write something down completely, is the, well, yeah, that's also just like a rebranded thing, right? Let's be honest. It's the AMD model. Lorenzo, I'm only halfway through the book. What would you say is the best way to practice the higher time frame supply and demand zones? You need to understand this. This is the most important part if you want to understand higher time frame supply and demand. Instead of always looking at break of structure, because this is what a lot of people do, they look at a break of structure, right? So any supply and demand zone that created a break of structure, for example. So let's say you have a swing low to swing high, right? And you re-break the low. And that re-break is caused by a break of structure. So for example, you know, let's say that this is a high that created that low, you break down, right? Then this is what we call a supply zone. This is what we call a supply zone. But what people don't forget, or people forget, is that sometimes supply zones get created within that swing too, and not just at a swing high or swing low. Sometimes it could be that a supply zone gets created here, or it gets created right here, right? And price just pulls back into this a little bit and continues to sell off, right? But if you don't understand supply and demand fully, you're gonna miss out on a lot of zones that might hold and might give you the setups you're looking for. So instead of always being obsessed with, you need to break structure first, look at, for example, a 3 candle bar play. That's it. 3 candles that you need to know. Right? Drop base drop, rally base rally. So drop base drop, rally base rally, drop base rally, and a rally base drop, right? That's the only thing that you need to know. So let's look at some examples of a drop base drop. For example, let's go to, let's see if we can find some nice there. This is a beautiful example. You see this drop? This is a drop, this is a base, and this is a drop. You see that? So you can hold this right here, and price pulls back into this right away. So you don't have to pull all the way back, right, to the swing high right here and say, that's where I'm going to look for a supply zone. That's what I'm going to sell off. No, because you're going to wait for days for that to happen. So sometimes a zone can instantly create it. You could, in essence, trade the next candle, right? If price gets created, then the first time it hits it, a couple hours later, you can already look for the continuation down. So that's the key difference, right? Always look at 3 candle bar plays. We'll probably go really deep into supply and demand and how you can actually utilize it properly. And then yeah, over time I think we can cover this topic because there is a lot to learn there for sure. A good example of our system here as well is the following, right? This was the example of the dollar yen. And if you go to the dollar yen here, you can see that price stepped into supply on the 12 hour right here. So that's our first kind of objective, right? Price stepped into supply. And then I know, hey, price is now in the supply zone. Perfect. On the 12 hour. Okay. Could be the 8 hour, could be the 4 hour, could be the daily, anything with 4. Then what happens here? We have the C, we have the M, and we have the E. So we tap into the 12 hour, we consolidate, we manipulate, and we expand right there. So that's kind of the setup. And then after that, we sell off, right? So that is like the system in a nutshell, pretty much. You're in higher time frame supply, you're following the trend or whatever. You then create a range, you manipulate. We have all these different patterns that we constantly talk about in our book that you can download for free. We talk about all the different layers, the different types of setups you can find. And that's kind of the setup that you can take here. So for example, entry, right, stop loss, right above that range. And then that sell off eventually. Just give it some time, price plays out right there. I think that's a perfect example of how we can take a setup right here, very clean, in that 3-step process, right? So 1, 2, 3. EU dropping like a nuke. Uh-oh. Shit. Are we done trading? If that's the case, we'll see. If we get stopped out here, then I'm gonna look at some setups to still see if I can find something related to that, because that shows me again that the dollar just doesn't want to break down, right? It doesn't want to freaking break down. The dollar is in supply, but it doesn't want to break. So if that's the case, it's gonna try to keep pushing. We'll look for the alternative, like we talked about at the beginning of our stream here. So let's see. Let's see. Hey Lorenzo, I love the way you babysit your trade. You must be a very patient trader. Facts. I am. For sure. You know, the thing is that sometimes, right, when we take a setup, you know, the only reason why it is because I'm live streaming, right? That's the only reason why. It's pretty much because I'm streaming. So that's why I have to sit here and watch the trade. But, you know, sometimes I just, you know, take the trade and step away, or go to the gym, or go boxing, or do something else besides just trading, for example. So yeah. All right, this one is a loss. So let's see where we are. Unfortunately, it was a beautiful, beautiful CME potential. Let's see if the New Zealand dollar is breaking down. This is another reason why I reduced my risk today a little bit, because usually I risk $3,000 per trade. pound. Let me see. Yeah, we finally see some volume here. Dollar is unable to break through, which I don't really like here. I would have loved to see the dollar following through here after this this range during the London session, Asian session, New York reversal. Well, we're seeing the 10 AM reversal right now. We're actually holding that support here. So I'm not really liking now the euro for sure is now, just have to be careful around the euro. That's a fact. We cannot look at the euro right now from that perspective because we broke it. We might just flip it again, by the way, and hold it because the dollar is still in that resistance. But that is one way. Gold also reversed aggressively from the Sunday open again. So gold also didn't manage to follow through because of the dollar as well here. Gold is still on the weaker side. Bitcoin is recovering. Holy shit. Wow. Look at Bitcoin right now. That's wild. That's crazy. So yeah, if you don't really follow through, I don't really see another clean setup. Let me ask the trading floor, see what these guys think here. Yo, what up, guys? What's happening?
What's up, man?
What's up, Lorenzo?
So dollar is holding that level, eh? It can't break it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fixed value low it did
Yeah.
ended up
Yeah.
holding.
Oh.
I'm just currently looking at some indices. It's interesting. Like the idea of now sort of storing this POC that we have here from this range.
Yeah.
It's being created and created supply. Now it's to stall, and then Dow Jones that can't sort of having issues here. This POC.
Yeah.
I'd like to see a breakdown, take out 12-hour, hold below the area low of this range, which is also previous week. Sorry guys, I'll zoom in. I'll make the chart a bit larger. That's a scenario that I'd like to see roll over, come down, flip it into a resistance, and then yeah, or we might just come up, hold, and keep going if Nasdaq's strong as well.
Yeah.
That means Dow Jones has been lagging because it's definitely the weaker at the two.
Right. Right.
But that's like in your book, right? That's a CRC.
Yeah. Yeah.
Plus we've
Well,
got
you
CME
got
for
your
this
oil
range.
set up right now, right? You killed it on the
Yes,
oil trade,
right.
so you know,
Look at that.
you got it in the books.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I don't want to feel overconfident and just be aware of the ego.
Very nice.
So yeah, man. But look at that for that pit first, 'cause it's close, bro, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right, Ryu, what about you, my friend?
Well, currently looking at the dollar to see what's the next move gonna be. Either it's gonna take out that 12-hour supply or gonna push down again, and then I'm gonna reevaluate on the currencies as well.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at Dow Jones as well for the long continuation, because it did bounce from this 12-hour demand here from the previous week. trading view is having issues here. If we take the whole previous trading week volume,
Yeah.
we can see that the price bounced from the 12-hour demand, which aligns with the previous week value high here.
Yeah.
So clean, not even a single candle closure above. And yeah, this one retested the London session. Sorry,
Right.
London session here. Yeah, took out Asian low, and now New York is continuing to go higher.
Okay.
Nice teammates. CME too, right?
Yeah, CME as well. Yeah, indeed. From this range here, on the lower time frame, like on a 5 minute, because aligns with the higher time frame. If we take this range, the fixed value are high. Look at this. Perfect rejection, perfect CRC. And then, yeah, continuation. So I'm waiting to see if the price can take out the 8-hour supply here.
Okay, awesome, G's. All right, from my side right now, if you look at the dollar, dollar is holding up. It's kind of ranging in between that that daily supply right now and then that resistance, that support here. So if the dollar would have broken down here after rejecting from daily supply, we had a beautiful trade that didn't came to fruition here. So I don't really see a clean follow-up trade at this current moment that really gives me the setup where I'm like, yes, that's the setup I want to take right now at this current moment right here. Okay, kind of the idea behind it. What do you think about gold? Why did it got fucked so bad? Probably same reason of the euro as well, by the way. Probably just because the dollar aggressively came up. And at the same time, look at what we created, right? We tapped into what? We tapped into 12-hour supply as well. Right here. So we're kind of reacting from the 12-hour supply that was created yesterday or today, actually at the closure. Right? So when this daily candle closed, or the 12-hour candle closed, the next candle opened, it sat in the top wick, it pushed into the 12-hour supply, and it got rejected from that level. And I might have something to do with it, right? Dollar holding and then gold in supply. I don't think that's a good combination right now at the moment here. So anyways, guys, I'm gonna come back tomorrow again. And go through it here. Right now, we're still up around 10 G's on this account right here that we just started. So let's see if we can actually keep growing this account. Encountered a loss right here. I don't think I want to force another setup, to be honest with you. If I would see something very clean or nice, I would say, yeah, sure, I would be willing to take it. But the dollar is just in the range and stuff. I don't really like it. I want to see some momentum here right now. Okay. So anyways, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep following up with that. Let's see if gold tomorrow is better. I'm not sure. For now, I think currencies are looking still decent. Because you have a lot of opportunity, right? A lot of room. But that just depends on the setup right there. So we'll keep you in the loop. And then we go from there. All right. In the meantime, G's, if you are new, look at the bigger picture by testing this out for yourself. It's a free book that we have written with our team. It took roughly, I think, a year to create this book, and it's free. So if you are interested in downloading it right now, you can download it for free. You guys like free stuff, right? So therefore, get and download the LTA Trading War Map and start backtesting. That's my recommendation to you. Don't be a lazy hoe. Start testing. Like backtesting, like your life depends on it. All right? That's what I want to see from you. Then I'm going to see you tomorrow again, and we'll see what happens. If we can keep growing our account, and if we can get back on the streak, right? And yeah, let's see how it goes. Hopefully we get more information tomorrow. So thank you guys. Appreciate you. And I'll talk to you guys soon. All right? Nice. Thank you, G. See you later. Oh, see you later. Ciao, ciao.